So I picked up 3 more today, even though I've not even got started prepping on the others I've bought. I took it for a drive. I noticed between 30-40 mile an hour, there was a vibration in the drive line. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Let's say that it's gone to 3 and 4. Bummer. Still on 1 and 2. Hi and welcome back to Chop's Garage, the real life car trading channel. Let's find out what's been happening over the last few days trading motors. First up, the Honda CR-V. Is it a bust or have we managed to sort it out? So we left you on tenterhooks in the last video on the Honda CR-V. This was the car we bought as a main dealer part exchange, but with no history on it at all. Apparently lost. And we promptly took it out for a drive after buying it. First time I test drove it for a short test drive before I bought it, it seemed fine. Took it out for a longer test drive after buying it and found that between 30-40 mile an hour you get a judder, sort of like a transmission judder, which we thought possibly meant we'd need to put a whole new box in it, or torque converter or whatever is in these CVT gearboxes. But after a little bit more research, we found this is a very common problem with the cars, to the extent that there's actually a Honda bulletin for them between the Honda main dealers that says that if you have this problem, you need to do a full transmission flush and a relearn on the gearbox. Subsequently, I had an email from a subscriber who's a Honda specialist who said, you want to do the rear differential at the same time because that can give some similar symptoms on it. And he said these are the fluids I recommend you change out to. He said I wouldn't recommend you use the Honda stuff, I'd recommend you use this instead. A bit more expensive but better stuff. So we got for the car, yeah, just go around people regardless whether somebody else on the other side of the road. So we got for the car the transmission fluid, the rear differential fluid, a filter for the gearbox, but we also got engine oil and filter and air filter, and just did a massive service front to back. It's chain driven, so it didn't need cam bell, so we just did a full fluids change and filters change front to back. And we're now out on a test drive to see, after Chris swapped that out for me and one evening, took it away, did that change. Said all the fluids that came out were really dark and nasty. He said, but the engine oil and the air filter were fairly clean. He said, so I think it's been serviced on the engine side of things, but it's never had a gearbox service or rear differential service. So yeah, so we're out test driving to see if that has fixed the problem or not. And I'm pleased to say it seems to have. I drove it home last night and there was a horse box in front of me, and it meant every hill was, you know, 30-40 mile an hour, 30-40 mile an hour through villages and stuff like that. A lot of time in that key area that the gearbox was doing what it was doing, and I have to say it's been nothing but what you'd expect from a Honda with an automatic gearbox. Lovely and smooth, no judders at all. It just changes lovely and smoothly. It's a really nice place to be. You're sitting up that bit higher. It's got that bit of extra weight and comfort to it. It's just a lovely, nice place to be. So yeah, ideal. Now, from what we read on the bulletins, it's quite possible that will come back in 5,000 to 10,000 miles. And I think the thing to consider with this vehicle is that that is a servicing item. Same as you'd have your engine oil changed every year. I'd say drop the gearbox fluid and do the gearbox fluid as well. And I don't know what the periods are for the rear differential, but you know, I do that every couple of years as well anyway. It wasn't massively expensive on top, labour wise or parts wise, so we'll probably have a look later on as to what it actually cost me to do that. But it looks like we dodged a bullet. Now, don't go thinking that is a safe call to go and buy cars with gearbox problems in the future and a fluid change will make all the difference. That is normally not the case. There's a general rule: if it's got that far, someone's already tried it and that's failed. It was a good signal when the fluid that came out of the gearbox was dirty. If it had come out clean, that would have been a really bad sign that someone had already tried it and it had failed. So by no means am I saying go out grabbing cars with bad gearboxes, or even Hondas with bad gearboxes, and that'll do the fix. But it does seem on this occasion that we got away with it, which is ideal. So with 82,000 miles on it, it's probably going to be, according to Auto Trader, it's over 10k, being an automatic and a Honda, and 2013. I think we'll probably put it up for 9,995 and see where we get. But yeah, touch wood, seems like a win. Right everyone, I said I was going shopping again, and I have been. We've got 3 new motors in, so let's have a little look through and see the good, bad and the ugly. Shouldn't be that bad, hopefully. So we've got 2011 Kia, what Kia is this? Kia Rio 1.4 petrol. So we like that nice simple engine. Like I said, 2011, seems to be in good nick. I think he's had a little bit of paint. I don't know if the bumper's just slightly, mind you, bumpers do age slightly over, colour changes, doesn't it, over age slightly differently to the metalwork. It's not a million miles out, and both front and rear seem the same, so actually possibly they haven't been done, it's just the way they go. We've got nice alloys, no curb in there, decent amount of trim on that tyre. Well, I can't say anything today, what's going wrong with me? Decent amount of tread on that tyre. No big dings and dents down the bodywork there. That mirror cap looks slightly different red as well. I think they're just fading at a different rate. That is, I guess, is directly in the sun up there, isn't it? We got loads of tread here again. That's Michelin. Let's check that rear tyre again. No curbing on that alloy. Is that Michelin as well? Yeah, it's Michelin. Cross Climate. It's got winter tyres on it. Seems pretty good round the back here. Badge has got the traditional Kia lack appeal. Needs a new wiper blade here. Nothing major there. Trouble with rear wiper blades is they don't fail MOT, so they get left. Yeah, another Michelin Cross Climate there with no damage to the alloy. So all the bodywork's good. Down this side again is all good. That mirror cap's exactly the same colour as the other one, so that's got to be factory, just the way it's faded. Again, another Michelin Cross Climate with loads of tread on it, so fairly new Michelin Cross Climates all around. That alloy's good again, no damage on that. All the paintwork seems very good, to be fair. Very good. Quick little look inside. If it wasn't locked. And if you were more prepared, as always, James. Yeah, so the condition continues on the inside. It's all in really good nick here. A little bit of wear to the bolster there. And there, I guess, minor. But the rest of it is minty mint. Really nice condition. Got air conditioning, got auxiliary input, USB input, Bluetooth. All the controls on the steering wheel there. I don't know if that might be a computer reset, I think, rather than cruise control on it. 6-speed box with a 1.4 petrol engine. All round electric windows, electric mirrors. Like I say, it's just the right side of simple, this one. It's got all the toys you need, but it's got the engine that's going to cause you the least hassle, isn't it? Bentley Continental being started up over there, convertible. Lovely jubbly. Don't know if we'll get the roof back. Every evening he starts up and it sounds blooming lovely, isn't it? 58,400. Oh, 58,434 miles. So the miles is decent, and it has, if I recall correctly, a full main. Did I already say it's a one-owner car? A one-owner car with a full main dealer service history, if I remember correctly. And they just put a. It's even got the bodywork stamps there, look. It's even got the bodywork stamps. Yeah, it's and I think they've just put an advisory free MOT on it as well. So we've got services from 13, 14, 15, 16. These are all Kia. 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh. 21, 22, 5th, 22, 12 for the 5th, 22. Is there one for 23 yet? Have they done it early? I thought they might have just done it early. They did, yeah. Oh no, that's when it's due. What am I talking about? That's when it's due, sorry. So 12th to 5th, 23 is when it's due. Oil and filter change. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? one owner car with a full main dealer history. You don't get much better than that, do you? So this will go up for, I've driven it back, it drives fine. No concerns at all with the drive. This will go up for 4495. Yeah, 4495. To be honest, I did fancy a chance on my arm at 4995. You know, because again, 4495 is the average on Auto Trader for all the vehicles, but they're not one owner from new full main dealer service history cars, are they? That could be a car that's had 3 owners and part service history. So I think I'm probably being a little bit over generous, just selling at the same price as everybody else, but we'll see how we get on. Right, next up, Kia Sportage. We like Sportage at the moment. We've sold our white automatic one over there already. That's going out. So yeah, we've got another Sportage in, but this is a 1.6 petrol on a 2013. That was the automatic with the 2-litre diesel, wasn't it? So this one again, bodywork looks like it's going to be all right. The alloys are dirty, but it looks like they'll clean up all right. Got loads of tread on the tyre there. There's a little scrape there that I think will polish out. It's just in lacquer. That alloy's good with loads of tread on the tyre again. Kumos. Nice metallic blue that benefit from a bit of a buff, being a Devon car. We get a lot of scrapes, don't we, from the hedgerows. All good round the back hill, the lights are good. Kia badge, it's starting to do its old lacquer peel thing. They need to get someone to key them up better when they lacquer them, don't they? There looks like it might be a slight bit of oxidisation on some of the alloys there. I don't think they'll benefit, I don't think they'll really need a paint. They're not quite that far, I don't think. Yeah, all the bodywork seems good. It says a really nice colour. Definitely needs a machine polish. Definitely nothing too crazy, just a bit of a machine polish. Spec wise, so I think it's one of the high ones. These go 1, 2, 3, don't they? I think, if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong. So you've got the chrome, the colour coded mirrors, the alloys, everything like that. I suspect this is one of the highest spec ones because we've also got part leather in it. Does it say on the back? I don't think it does on these, does it? No, it doesn't. Is it open? Yes, it's open. We've got all-round electric mirrors, all-round electric windows, electric mirrors, folding, Bluetooth cruise control, half leather seats. It's a 6-speed manual, as I said, a 1.6 petrol. All the seats are in good condition. This will all clean up really nicely, no problem at all. Yeah, all looks good in. We've got auxiliary input, as well as USB. Like I say, we've got all the basic toys you'd want. Right, so the only problem with this one is, I'll show you. Oh, we've got parking sensors, rear parking sensors as well on this one. Is the radio's on. No, the problem we've got is 76,000 miles, so not outrageous. We have an uneven idle and an engine management light. Now I've taken a bit of a punt on this one, guys. I did get a keen price on it, but it's going to be a bit of a punt. What we need to do is break out the new toy I've been sent from XTool. It is their IP819 Smart Diagnostic Systems. I literally can't say anything today. I don't know what's going on. A normal person would edit this video and redo it, but I don't genuinely have the time. Now, one of the reasons I've got to use this is that Pete keeps running off with my blooming Top Don and disappearing for days on end with it. So they sent me this one out, so I thought a good opportunity to try it. We're hoping that the code is going to come back as something like coil packs, you know, ignition, like a misfire on the cylinders, rather than something more substantial like timing or whatever. But even misfire could be an indication of something going on in the pistons, I guess, couldn't it? So we'll plug it in and find out. I did actually drive it back, and other than it being at junctions you need to give it a bit more gas, it did actually drive all right. It didn't seem to be having big problems, so hopefully something minor, but it was a major punt. Before we plug that in, we'll just have a look at the last car, and then we'll come back and plug this in and find out. I'll leave you on tenterhooks. Can't remember the exact retail on that pair. I think they're up in the 7s, aren't they, for a manual 1.6 petrol on a 2013 with that miles. I think they're in the 7s for that. Right, last one up. Something I've never had before. I mean, I've had Mondeos before, but I've never had this age Mondeo. This is a 2016, getting a bit new for me, isn't it? 2016, I don't know what model it is. I'm sure you four guys will tell me straight away. I mean, I know it's a Mondeo, but I don't know what spec it is. It's got front and rear parking sensors, alloys, it's got metallic paint, it's got chrome spots down the bottom and driving lights. Everything's colour coded. It's got keyless entry, keyless start. So I imagine it's, you know, at least midway up the table. It's got the alloys. They do look very small on this. But then again, that will give us a better ride. We know what big alloys do to the ride of a car. Like I say, overall condition-wise, it's good. It's had some paint on the bumper here. It starts off really well here. But I think someone's painted this corner. And I think they've misunderstood how to apply this sort of pearlescent white. It's a 3-stage one on this. I think they've done stage 1 and 2 and forgotten stage 3. So ideally, I think, unless someone isn't that bothered, I think that corner I could do with painting just to lift it up. Because once that's done, this is going to come out really nicely. Because bodywork-wise, other than that, it's really bang on. All the alloys, obviously with the big tyres, it protects the alloys from getting curbed. So the alloys are in good nick. And like I said, the rest of the paint's decent. There's always a slight difference with these fluorescent ones on different types of product, you know, plastic to metal, and then different angles. It always comes out looking slightly different, but that rear corner's definitely been painted and not done that great. Looks like we've got rain sensitive wipers up there as well. It's got a lot of toys on it. It's only fabric interior, so it's not the top spec, I wouldn't have thought. We've got all round electric windows, electric mirrors, auto fold. We've got the Bluetooth on the steering wheel, the cruise control, 6-speed manual. It's the 1.5 diesel. The cam belt interviews on these are actually 10 years or 150,000 miles. So it's not actually due its cam belt yet. We'll look at the mileage in a second. I mean, you could choose to do the cam belt early if you wanted to. I guess these intervals do tend to get stretched out quite a lot. The interior is in good condition, just needs a valet. It'll all come out quite nicely. The boot on this, I couldn't believe it when I had a look in the boot. I mean, some of you probably own these, don't you? But the boot is absolutely enormous. I mean, Mondeos now are massive as well, aren't they? But that boot is absolutely enormous. Again, needs a good valet, but you could sleep in that, couldn't you? Even without putting the seats down. It's massive. Rear reversing camera there as well. So yeah, really quite nicely specced out. It's only the 1.5 diesel, as I said, so it doesn't have all the power in the world, but it went along all right. Did it from a cold start. Cold start was fine. It drove really smoothly. I've heard a lot of good things about the drive of these. Obviously, the size they are, they feel a bit more luxurious, don't they? 107,000 miles. All LCD centres for all the dials there. I've got to have my foot on the clutch, haven't I? Starts up on the button. Now, the big reason I was happy buying it is we've got a receipt here for, I don't want to show their details. And one of the big reasons for being confident buying it is, I don't want to show their name information here, is it does have a full history, and it has, within the last couple of months, had dual mass flywheel and clutch. So the big concern, your dual mass flywheel, is being done, and the clutch is working lovely, so that's a big plus. Like I say, other than that, it's got a full service history. So yeah, it's gone past that magic 100,000 miles, which people seem to think makes the car disintegrate overnight, but I think this will be good to go for a good while longer, won't it? Obviously, 1.5 diesel, I've had my experience with the overheating on those. You know, cracked. I think they can crack their blocks as well, can't they? They can overheat, but there isn't a car in existence that I haven't been told has one type of problem or another. So we'll drive it home and back tonight just to double check that. But it seems to have run absolutely fine when I ran it today in the coolant state where it should. It's averaged 46 miles to 46.7 miles to the gallon. So for a car this size, that's some really good going. Like I say, it's got all the toys. If we put it in reverse, we've got the reversing camera. It's a very nice place to be. I'm quite impressed with this. I've always wanted to try one of these bigger ones out for a while. Retail value on this is about 7.5, I think, something like that, on this age and miles. I've got to do something about the steering wheel. It seems to have almost melted in someone's hand. I don't know if that's recoverable or not, or whether we just need to put one of the covers on, the stitched covers on over the top. Just tidy that up. But yeah, we'll see how we go on with that tonight. I'll let you know if I run into any problems. But I think most importantly is to get onto the old Sportage and find out what that code is for. I was tempted to undercut everyone and 6995 this actually, and just leave that bit of paint on the corner. So comment down below. I'll be interested to hear people's opinions. Get your comments in as to whether you think that bit of paint needs doing and we should put it up at the full retail, or whether I should leave that and just 6995 it. I'll be interested to see what you think. But yeah, I'll put a few miles on it, double check everything's okay, but it seems to be maintained really well. Right, let's get on, James, come on. Let's get this plugged in, find out what this code is, stop putting it off, find out if it's going to be a big problem. So as I said, today we'll be trying out the XTool IP819 that they've kindly sent me. I say the same thing to all of these people now. I won't do a dedicated production video or whatever it is they want. I said I'll keep it on the side, and when I have a genuine situation to use the product, I'll fish it out and I'll tell you what I think. I don't take any money off them or anything like that. They just send me the bit of kit and we'll give it a go and we'll see if it's any good or not. Main thing for me is ease of use. I'm used to my top don. It's easy to use, to navigate through the menu and find a problem. So the question will be, if this takes too long to set up, it's too faffy, it'll immediately lose my attention. I did get some white grease on the box earlier, by the way, so that's hence why it's a little bit dirty, because I did make sure it was all charged up, which it wasn't. I need to put it on charge. So, and then I decided to spray something near it with white grease on and got white grease everywhere. So that's why people shouldn't send me nice things. Right, I've got the cables there. We've got the different connections for different parts of the country, but we won't be reading any instructions because none of us do we? So let's be honest about it and let's find out where this needs to go. Just in case I'm taking it for granted, I think most people do know now, don't you, that cars have OBD, is it OBD2 ports, is it? OBD2? That's it. They're a generic port that allows you to plug a car in and get reading off it to stop manufacturers from being able to basically monopolise all the repairs on cars. They do their best to try and stop you from fiddling with yourself, but so that goes into here. So first of all, obviously the top dom one is a remote one, Bluetooth, so I put the dongle in and then connect to the dongle without having to put this cable in. The only thing I'd say with that is I do actually have a habit of leaving it in cars. I guess this is less likely with this one, but I'm more likely to break the pins on it because I'm cack-handed. So power on, there's our main screen. It wants to do some updates, but we'll skip that for a moment. We'll just go with this one. I'm guessing this one in the middle, auto scan. Oh, hold on, no, auto scan. We'll try it. Again, I haven't read the instructions. Oh, they found that quick, didn't it? I'll go with that one. It's got my VIN number. It's got the right engine and the right year, so we'll just go with that. Automatic scan, that seems sensible enough. Already found failure 3 there. It's quick at scanning, I'll give it that. I found the VIN number a lot quicker than some of the other ones I've got. It seems to be rattling through the checks fairly quickly. I could stop it there and look at failure 3, whatever that is. But for the moment, we'll just let it do its thing and check everything on the car, see if we've got any other codes for anything else. Because I do want to make sure, like I said, that I haven't got any really relating to timing or anything like that. Nearly already there, actually. So yeah, very quick scan there. Came through very easy. Right, so do I press on that? No. Diagnose. That'll be it, I imagine. Right, what we got there? Read ECU, read trouble code, clear code, live data, actuation tests, special functions. What's on the special functions out of interest? Read VIN, write VIN. Write VIN, that's interesting. Reset adaptive values. What's that all about? I don't want to do that now. Let's not get too excited, James. Let's go out of here. And yeah, diagnose. Read trouble codes. Random multiple cylinder misfire detected. Cylinder 1 and 2 misfire detected. Interesting. Interesting. So look at live data a sec. See what we can do there. Should we turn it on? I don't want any of that. So we get data here on fuel pump, fuel level sensor, immobilizer, map, ESP, cruise control, leak test, fuel pump, main relay, clutch pedal. It's all here. It's all here, guys. All the stuff about the aircon. Knocking detected. Do we want knock? I wonder if that means knock on the engine. Cam phasing. There is absolutely everything here, to be fair to it. I can't imagine what else you'd need on top of all this stuff. Here we go. What is these? Injection time. Let's have them all up. It's 1 and 2 at the moment, isn't it? Let's have a look at those. Let's start the car up and see what they say. Oh, don't break it, James. You've only had it 5 minutes. Here we go. Well, 3 and 4, 1.64. Oh no, they're over the place a bit. Oh, they're all to 82 now. Let's rev it a sec. Well, that looks to me like all the injectors are firing in the same way. So I don't think it's the injectors themselves, is it? Is that a right analysis? I think the first thing to do is to swap over. I think the first thing to do is cancel selected. Let's go back. I think is to swap over the coil packs from 3 and 4 to 1 and 2, and then see if it follows it across. Right, let's whip these out. The only one that looks like it might cause some bit of problems is the one at the back here. I might need to get some stuff out of the way to get that one out. I'll have a look. And now we've got to try and get the clips off without breaking the clips, which is never easy because they're always designed to break immediately. I might need 2 hands for that a second. Right, let's swap 4 over for 1. And yeah, don't get too confused, James. And then swap these 2 over. As I said, I'm assuming that's 1, but it won't really matter in the grand scheme of things because it'll still follow the 2. It should still follow the 2 over. Just make sure I've got all this lined up correctly. Bolt it back in, and we'll give it a go. So I run the scan again and we've got the same code. Let's have a diagnose of it. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Let's say that it's gone to 3 and 4. Bummer. Still on 1 and 2. Oh. Right, so we're into a situation where now the next logical step is to check the spark plugs. The GDIs are high compression, they like the gaps to be correct. So if the spark plugs are worn, it could be doing it. The other thing is we need to check if we've got oil going in. There does seem to be quite a bit of gunginess here. We need to check if we've got oil going from the rocker covering and making the spark plugs bad on that. We've got fuel pressure, so we need to check if we're getting the correct fuel pressure, if that's causing an issue. If all those things come off well, then the worst case scenario is low compression in cylinder 1 and 2, is that we have low compression. I'd expect to have seen smoke. I would have expected to have seen for it to run worse, but not guaranteed. Head gasket wise, head gasket could be leaking down onto the plugs as well, but our coolant level seems to be okay. It wasn't getting hot. Oh dear, this gamble may well not pay off, guys. I think you're going to have to tune in for the next one, guys, to find out what happens with this one. We're going to have to get a bit deeper. It wasn't a quick fix we hoped. So as always, massive thanks for watching. I will put a link in the description down below for our new diagnostics machine. Or what is it again? It is the XTool IP819. I think we shall use this in the next video to read the fuel pressure. Once I found out what the fuel pressure should be on there, see if we've got the right fuel pressure readings on there, as well as checking the spark plugs out. We'll continue to use this in future videos, at least until Pete brings me back my other one. But no, initial signs are very easy to use. Huge amount of features on it. It's faster. It's the fastest one I've had so far. I think I'd quite comfortably say it's the fastest one at bringing up the codes. It's very easy to use. As always, I think it's probably better in the hands of someone who's more experienced than me, but it will allow me to go in and get in depth. Apparently, it's got a lot of features as well for relearns on it, which could be quite useful. So yeah, good bit of kit. Massive thanks to XTool. Like I say, we'll continue to use this and continue to give our feedback on it. As always, I said to them, I'd only feature if they gave a discount code for our subscribers. So you will find a link in the description down below. I'm not sure exactly what the code is yet, the discount is yet, but I'll know by the time this video comes out. So you'll find a link in the description down below for this XTool unit and the discount that you'll get if you wish to purchase one. As always, my thoughts on these things are that you can save yourself an awful lot of money in diagnosis, bearing in mind that garages are now coming on average £50 an hour, and you will be charged for the diagnosis period as well. So if you can find out, even if you're not going to swap the parts out yourself, if you can get ahead and find out what the problems are, you can get a good idea of what the costs are going to be in fixing it. And sometimes there will be quick, easy fixes. So yeah, massive thanks to XTool for sending that across. Massive thanks to all of you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one, and we'll see if we can save this or not. Oh dear, what have I done? As if I didn't have enough projects on the go, eh?